Drama City Productions presents.
What's up, party people? You are listening to Conversations with Paycheck and Red.
An inappropriate comedy podcast.
Have you ever taken a photo of your own butthole?
Do you enjoy the smell of hot dog water?
Do you have random conversations about dildos?
Well, this is the podcast for you.
Just two good old boys having no-holds-barred conversations.
All while laughing inappropriately.
Oh, hell. Paycheck and Red have gotten themselves into another inappropriate conversation. Let's listen and see how they get out of this one.
3, 2, 1.
That's right, y'all. Another inappropriate episode. Reaching out and touching all the stuff we're not supposed to touch because we're inappropriate. What's up, Red?
What's up, baby boy?
Wait a minute, I'm older than you. You can't call me baby boy.
I can call you whatever the fuck I want to.
Yeah, that's like, I wouldn't call you Uncle Red. You'd be more like Nephew Red.
Yeah, but dude, you're not that much fucking older than me.
Yeah, but you damn well better respect your elders. You hear me?
Mm-mm.
You see that look I gave you? Boy, you better respect your elders, boy.
Yeah.
See, you can't stutter when you got a stern look on your face like that. You're trying to flex on somebody, verbally speaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be like, you better never like you better never like, don't you like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, that's how my kids tell stories. They're like,
Yeah. I always interrupt them and be like, so was it like that or was it exactly?
So can I fucking talk about White Week or what? You cut me off like twice.
No, I didn't cut you off. You cut me off, or you cut yourself off. I noticed the sunburn. You should have put something on your nose right there, man. You got a little.
Yo, I know it doesn't show up real well on camera, but so I had my hat on, I had my bandana on, and then I had my hat turned backwards. So I had this line. What?
So you had the hat on, then the bandana?
No, I said I had the bandana on, and then I had the hat on backwards.
That's not how you said it, though.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
You're just hot.
Anyway.
You're hot.
I am, but that has nothing to do with anything.
So let's see. So my hat covered up down to my glasses, and my glasses covered down to right here. So from here, you can see it right here.
Yeah.
Right under right over where my glass. So I have a glasses, suntan. But because
for the people listening, Paycheck not watching, but listening. For the people listening, Paycheck has reverse raccoon eye.
It's ridiculous, man. It's embarrassing, and my fucking arms are burnt. So yesterday was Daytona. Now I live in Jacksonville, so I can go down to Daytona for the day, even for a couple hours. It takes like an hour and a half to get there. It's not a big deal.
Right.
So I went down there yesterday, had a good time. It was crazy. It was badass. But I got burnt. So then we had another. I went down. It wasn't club affiliated. So today was a club affiliated ride for this little boy's birthday. He turned 4 years old. His dad got killed by a drunk driver while he was on his motorcycle, I think last week.
Holy.
Dude, there was over 300 bikes there. So dude, it was crazy. I got all kind of videos and shit. So my arms were already burnt, and I have 18-inch ape hangers with a 4-inch riser. So my shit is up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the crease on my arm right here. I don't know if I can see it right here. Dude, they got so burnt.
That's called the ditch.
Yeah, dude. So I knew I was going on a ride today, and again, the sun was out. I live in Florida. So I was like, well, I don't want to get burnt again. So I found some stuff that we use on my youngest, who is redheaded. So it's like SPF 50, but it's like a deodorant stick. So you kind of wipe it on,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of rub it in, but it doesn't fucking, like, my shit was white, bro. My fucking arms were white. Dude, I tried to massage that shit in to where it would,
Right.
absorb, my skin would absorb it.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't do it, but I had to go, you know what I mean? It's for this little kid and everything. So I showed up in white face. Yeah, they were like, look at this one. He looks like he's fixing to pass out. He's so pale. It was embarrassing. But definitely a good time, man. And I'll tell you this, my dad was against me putting ape hangers, and it has its pros and cons, but when you show it to events, you go to other places with fucking bikes and shit, you got fucking, dude, I've got 22 inches. That's how high I'm like. So every time I pass or I go, it gains a lot of attention, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm an attention whore. So
Yes, you are. Yeah, you are.
I circled the block 100 times.
You ought to put some of that stuff up on the Instagram, man.
Yeah, I'm going to. And I got a warning ticket
I've seen that.
for Daytona. So look, I'm in Daytona, and it's bike week. There are sport bikes and there are cruisers, there's trikes. I mean, there's just all kind of shit going on. And they threatened to give me $100 ticket for revving my engine.
Revving your engine at a bike rally.
Yeah. So I got like drag pipes. I have no baffles. So that motherfucker's just obnoxious and loud, just like I like it. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure out though, what did you do different than everybody else wasn't doing? Because I know you wasn't the only one revving a damn engine.
No, there were three people. There was three people. Law enforcement on a bicycle come hauling ass past us, stopped in front of two bikes in front of me, and was like, you, and you. And fucking cops just swarmed us. And it was like, there was this young guy. He looked like he was 21, 22 years old. So he comes up and he's like, let me see your driver's license. So I have a CDL license and a motorcycle endorsement and all kind of endorsements. I can pretty much drive and fucking carry anything. What's up, Instagram? Paycheck and Red here. We're live on the ground. I know the audio is not going to be that great on your end, but it'll be a lot better on YouTube and on all of our podcasts. So what up? So yeah, he was like, you, and you. So cops swarmed us, and this young cat come up to me. He was like, can I see? Let me have your driver's license or whatever. And I said, so what are you pulling me over for? And dude had this dumb look on his face. He didn't know what he was pulling me over for because some asshole just told him. So he pulled me over. I was like, okay, so what's the fucking charge then? What are you pulling me? What did he tell you that I was being pulled over for? So dude didn't know. Damn. Dude didn't know. He had to go there and ask the dude.
Wow.
I was like, how fucking embarrassing. You're gonna pull me over. So then I was not happy about it. I was at bike week in Daytona. I'm revving my engine, having a good fucking time. And they're pulling this dumb shit. So
that's crazy, man.
So that was the first run-in I had in with the law. The second one is everybody's going down the main drag. Fucking thousands of bikes. It's crazy. Tits hanging out everywhere. Ass cheeks hanging out everywhere. If you ain't never been to bike week, go to bike week just to see tits and ass. If you're into that kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's up to y'all.
Right.
But so all these bikes are going straight, and then for some reason, when me and another guy pulls up, he gives us the go right signal. And I was like, no, I'm going straight. He pointed up at his badge. It was like, no, you're going right, motherfucker. I was like, damn. He pulled the card.
Damn.
Yeah, so been on the bike all weekend, bike week, and I'm probably gonna go back down there next weekend. But I got home and dude, I'm leaking fucking gear oil everywhere. Like a lot. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you get how much were your fines and shit?
All warnings.
What?
You know, hey, when my cousin he lives in Brunswick, Georgia.
Right.
So he's only about an hour from, no, not even an hour. Well, maybe an hour from me. So him and I got together, and him and I were hitting like 100, 110. And I saw this damn SUV sitting on the side of the road, and I was like, oh shit. So I let off the throttle. So dude, I was doing 110 in a 70, and the guy gives me a warning, all because I have a CDO license.
Damn. That's ridiculous.
Steve.
Ridiculous.
What's up, Steve? I've been meaning to mention him. What is it? Shows and Son Woodworks. So check this out. Shows and Son Woodworks. So yo, this dude does some crazy shit. Did you see at my wedding? Did you write your name on a heart and put it in this little glass? It's almost like a shadow box.
Yep, I did. Yep.
Man, I get so many compliments, man. Every time I have it hanging up in the living room, and I get so many compliments on. Check their Facebook. It's Shows and Son Woodworks. Dude does some badass shit for a fair price. Woodworking. I'm talking about crazy shit.
Does he carve stuff?
Yeah. I guess I should be a little more detailed. I'd rather you go to his Facebook and look at it yourself, because if I try to describe it, I'm gonna butcher it. It's woodworking.
What are you clicking? What is that noise?
None of your fucking business. This is my shit over here. This is my fucking studio over here. You worry about what you got going on over there in your studio.
You either clicking something or you chewing in my damn ear. You need a squeeze ball or something, okay? You need a squeeze ball.
And you don't like any of them, huh?
Well, I know a squeeze ball is quiet. You need something to pacify that nervous tick you got.
Well, normally I'm over here doodling.
Doodling.
I've been drawing.
You're doodling.
Yeah, I've been drawing a caricature of your funny looking ass since we got started. So for everybody that's listened to the past couple of episodes, you probably realize that we're not just gonna stick to one fucking topic. Why? Because we're rebels. Okay, we're fucking outlaws. We're gonna do it the way we want to fucking do it. Or the way Red says that we have to do it.
This ain't Burger King, motherfucker. You don't get it your way.
So we're gonna be doing what we call a la carte episodes, where we're gonna talk about a bunch of random shit, because we have a lot that we want to talk about, and we don't want to just stick to just one. So the first topic that we're gonna talk about is
shitting yourself.
Shitting yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just thought, I don't know if they can hear you. Let me see.
Yeah, that's gonna be super. What's gonna be super weird? If they
yeah. Let me make sure that my volume's all the way up. I just thought about that.
Yeah. You're not gonna be able to. It's gonna be one-sided. It's gonna be Paycheck live.
Yeah.
And I can't go live on my side because then it'll interrupt what you got going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Can't go live at the same time.
Instagram, I don't know if y'all can hear Red or not, but if you can't, my bad. I fucked up. I'm irresponsible. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm winging it.
You're fucking the most non-technical guy in this duo of ours is trying to do technical shit.
And you know what it is? What aggravates me is that every time I learn something new about the technology, it fucking changes, or it's redundant now. You know what I mean? Like they've moved on to something bigger and better. I'll compare it to a young guy working on cars and shit. So when I was younger working on cars, I was working on carburetors, and then a few years go by, and now I'm working on throttle bodies. And then a few years go by, now we're working on fucking fuel injections. And we really can't even work on fuel injections because we don't have the fucking tools to do this shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, so let's get back to topic number one. Shitting yourself. Have you ever, and don't fucking lie because we'll know if you're lying. Have you ever, on accident, at a party, as a joke, you know what I mean? Have you ever shit yourself?
As opposed to doing it on purpose?
Listen, I'm not going to mention any names, but one of my brothers was in the bathtub. We were little kids, and they wouldn't get out. So I told him, I'm going to shit in here if you don't get out. He was in the tub. You remember when a little kid would used to take baths?
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't get out. So I stood up in that motherfucker and took his shit right in the damn tub. So what about you, man? Can you ever shit your pants?
Yes, sir. On more than one occasion.
Is this something that you do on a regular basis?
No, not a regular basis, but when the opportunity arises, it kind of just happens.
No, they say they can't hear you.
Yeah, of course not.
Hold on. Let me turn the volume up a little bit more.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You can hear him now?
Ah.
Steve says he can hear you now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Does it sound like you can understand them? You can understand the words that are coming out of his mouth?
Anyway, the opportunity has presented itself a couple times in my life, and it just happens, man. It ain't like I do it on purpose or I plan for it. But I talked to a guy the other day, a 50-year-old man, that said he never shit himself in his entire life. And I thought he was a liar. Everybody has shit theirself at least one time.
Well, you probably shouldn't be disrespecting an old man in his 50s like that. You know what I mean? It should be yes, sir, no, sir, ha, 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 sir.
Nah, I called this motherfucker right on out.
Yeah.
50 years old, he's never shit himself at all. So I thought he was a liar. And I told him that there's no way in 50 years that you've never been coming home from work, been sick and sneezed and shit all over yourself, laying in the bed, or just couldn't get to the damn John quick enough. I mean, there's all kind of opportunities in a person's life to where they have to. They don't have a choice. It just happens. You know what I mean?
I shit my pants on purpose one time because I didn't want to be at work anymore.
Wow, that's pretty fucking dedicated.
Yeah, I was like, man, fuck this day. I'm over this day. I don't even want to be here anymore. But so how can I go home? I can't say that I'm sick, you know what I mean, because I've been at work. So I was like, what's a way that they can't, fire me or can't get mad at me? I didn't want to use somebody died. Oh my God, I got to go real quick.
Right. So
I was like, well, if I shit my pants, then they can't make me stay here with shit in my pants. You know what I mean? I was in customer service at the time. So you cannot work in customer service if you shit your pants. You must go home. So that's what I did. I went home and enjoyed the rest of my day.
You had to sit in it all the way. You put yourself through that shit just to go home?
No, at that point, I used to wear underwear. So once I got into the car, I just, in the parking lot, I just stripped down real quick, clean it up a little bit, threw the underwear. I think I just opened up the door and threw the underwear. Right? So some poor soul, at the end of the day, had to get all the shopping carts, and pick up the trash. So they come across, and this was back in the prison days where I used to rock the all white. See, back in the day, I used to rock all white boxers and all white socks. Because if you go to jail and you don't have white boxers and white socks on, you get nothing. Like they take them from you. But if you have all white, then you get to keep them. So I always wear white, boxers or whatever.
White boxers.
Huh?
White boxers and you shit yourself. I bet that was a mess.
No, I mean it was it was solid, it was just like just a little log.
Underwear looked like a chocolate chip cookie and shit.
Yeah, it was just a log smushed in my underwear.
So you didn't chili dog it all the way home, man.
No, I wouldn't have been able. But I had to tell you, when I first became a truck driver, most truck drivers piss in like a wide mouth Gatorade bottle. Well, your body is not set up to do that. That's why you wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, because your body is not built to pee laying down or sitting down. You know what I mean? I mean, you know how it is. You know, if you're running down the road, you got to take a piss, you pull out a wide mouth Gatorade bottle, you stick your dick in it. It takes a few minutes for your mind to say, okay, this is cool. We can do this.
Right.
But it does take some time, you know, before that happens. I would think,
but you can't control the sphincter, man.
Well, sure you can.
When it's time to go, it's time to go. Yeah, you could probably hold it off for a little while, but eventually it's just going to happen, man. And I've never known anybody in my entire life, and I'm knocking on 40's door right now. I've never known anybody that hasn't ever shit themselves at least one time in their life.
For y'all that are just tuning in, I know the audio might be a little shady, but we're winging it. We said, fuck it. We're going to go live on Instagram, Paycheck and Red. I know you can see Paycheck. I hope you can hear Red. You ain't got to see him anyway. He ain't all that pretty to look at.
No, I'm an ugly motherfucker.
So, yeah, if you're wondering why you're on here and the audio sounds like shit, it's because we don't take this very seriously, apparently. So shitting yourself. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that everybody has at least sharted on themselves. You know, that you're at work.
Anybody that says they've never done it is lying. Period.
Yeah, but you're having a full-blown shit yourself.
Yeah.
No, it don't work. Your body don't work like that. You might get a turtle head out. It might even pinch a little piece of that turtle head off. But that whole log ain't coming out in your draw.
Dude, once it starts, you can't stop it. You know what I mean?
But see, you're talking about the wet shit. Pun intended. You're not talking about that dry log.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. So for our listeners, for those who don't know, Red, tell your story about when you were in the concrete business.
All right. It was 2004, 2003, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I was a concrete finisher at the time, and we were pouring a driveway, a parking pad, and some sidewalks and some patios around the back of the house, right? So it was right before lunchtime. We were all poured out, and we took a little break, smoked a cigarette, and got started bull floating and trialing and finishing it out, getting ready for the broom. So I'm around back, trialing concrete, had shorts and a sleeveless shirt on. And I leaned over at the corner of the slab I was working on, and I was trialing, and I felt a fart, and let it rip.
So it started with a fart.
Yes, I let it rip, and before I could, cut the fart off or whatever, that slow trickle down my leg.
So wait, it was wet then?
It was the texture of, or the consistency of ceiling texture. You ever sprayed ceiling texture?
Yeah, I've rolled it.
So it's got that kind of consistency to it. Yeah, it was like that. So I had to feel this shit, pun intended, roll down my leg, and I kind of stood up, and I was like, fuck, and I'm grabbing my ass, trying to keep it off of me and whatever, because it's gross.
Wait. So you're telling me that when you started shitting your pants, you just decided, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna just continue to shit my pants?
No, dude. By the time it happens, you think about it, you've already shit your pants. I can't control my sphincter that fucking good to where I can cut my turds and my farts and shit off. There ain't nothing goes up there, so it's only exit. So once it goes, it goes. I don't have a fucking trap door I can just open and close. I can't do that.
Well,
I mean, I cut it off, but it was already a mess before I could get to that point. You have to understand, it was, just a random situation. I didn't like, oh, my stomach's hurting, and I better hurry up and get to the bathroom and shit myself. I was working, minding my own business, and just went to cut a fart, and it just, you know what I mean? Like, before I could cut it off, it was over with.
So, we need to set the parameters for what is considered shitting your pants and what is, just a little accident. But before we do, I see we have Dollar Blaze Club is checking us out. So shout out to them.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Johnny Paycheck coming at you from the Dirty Duval. It's a great day here in the Sunshine State, so I want to jump on and tell you to quit wasting time going to smoke shops and jiffy stores to get your smoking materials. Enjoy your day and have that shit sent right to your house. Keep it simple, stoner. Stop spending all your De Niro, Scratch, Skrilla, whatever you call it, on all that shit too, and go to dollarblazeclub.com and use promo code CWPR25 and get 25% off. That's the highest discount you'll see anywhere. And if there's one thing the Red knows, it's how high. Timbo!
Fucking, what's that expression? Work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
They don't do that shit anymore. Every fucking trade that I've been in, supervisors, managers, project managers, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of it. They want you to do stupid shit. They don't want you to work smart. They want you to work hard. That's why I became a contractor. That way I can do what I want to do. So, dude, there's been some shit in the news. This fucking Michael Jackson thing. Have you seen the documentary?
No, I have not, but I've seen a couple scenes from it on YouTube.
So, what I've gathered is that people are now coming forward, and if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, but I think that it has been confirmed factually that he did do some of the things that he's been accused of doing throughout his whole music career.
This man is dead, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, okay? Allegedly. But he's dead. What he done in his past, he's dead. Let it go. Let it go. Why are you bringing up old shit? This man's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, but you tell that to Macaulay Culkin, bro. You tell that to
dude,
you tell
fuck
that
out of here.
You tell that to Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, okay, and Arnold. Arnold, that cute dude. He was cute. Could you imagine having that cute little kid over your house and you're over here, finger banging him?
No, what? Why would I imagine that?
What you talking about, Michael?
No, dude. I mean, even if he did, even if he did, he's not here to defend himself. That shit died when he did. People talk about it, of course, because he's fucking Michael Jackson. But don't bring up new shit. Don't bring up old shit. The man is dead. Let him be dead in peace.
No. When you fuck with little kids, that shit goes out the window. For me. I don't give a shit about
I'm not condoning any of that shit now. Don't try to put that shit on me like that.
Sounds like you wanna maybe you're a member of the whole Pizzagate thing going on.
No. No, not even close, buddy. I'm saying, what's it gonna do now? You can't convict him of any of it. What the hell is this? You're just putting yourself in the spotlight for your 15 minutes of fame so you can get a little bit of Michael Jackson's money. That's it.
Listen, if you are
I'll bring that shit up now.
If you are a dirty, grimy dude, that shit is gonna come out, whether you're alive or you're dead. Karma is karma, and dirty and grimy dudes, they end up getting what they deserve. Now, I say that, but let me just say again, I'm not saying that I don't recall I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know if there is factual evidence. I know that a lot of people have come out saying that, yeah, this shit's true. Like big people. This dude had an amusement park at his fucking house. 4 kids, had candy, had a room that was locked at all times where he hung out with these little kids, and he had some sort of audible and video thing to let him know if people were coming down the hall.
Where'd you hear that shit at?
Social media, of course.
Of course, yeah. Man, we can't believe that shit. Yeah, he had a fucking amusement park, but he didn't have much of a childhood. He was a big kid. That's what he said. He missed all that shit when growing up because he was a fucking pop star when he was 5 or some dumb shit. So he didn't get a childhood.
Yeah, but maybe he was being finger banged by the older people in his life. That's how he learned it.
Oh man.
Listen, what happens is that, okay, so check this out. So there's a number, there's a monetary number that once you hit this certain amount of money, you no longer have to mow your own grass, you no longer have to work on your own shit. So that changes a person. So you're not thinking and doing the shit that everyday Joes do. You know what I mean? You have exceeded this. Like Howard Stern was talking about it. I was listening to him one day, and he says that once you hit a certain amount of money, then now you accumulate more bills to spend that money. So you hire people to do pretty much everything for you. So that life that a person lives like that, doesn't have to fend for itself, doesn't have to do anything for itself, has everybody at his beck and call, that changes a motherfucker. That makes you a sick, demented motherfucker that you can't even get off the fucking couch and do your own shit. You got to hire motherfuckers to lay your fucking clothes out, dress you. You know what I mean? This dude had, he slept in some sort of, what is it? Hyperbaric chamber?
No, he didn't. That was a fucking rumor. No, it was. He did not.
Dude, all of them do. Tom Cruise, they talk about it.
No,
The Rock,
dude, that's.
dude, listen, they all talk about it.
Oh man.
So I'm not saying that he did it, and I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I wasn't there. I didn't get finger banged by, or jerked off by the dude. But see, here's the interesting part: is that people like to tie the artist in with the music, when the truth is that the music is where the magic is. Who gives a shit who sung the fucking song? It's
right.
It's the song that you fell in love with, you know, or the song that hits you, it makes you feel all the shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I hear what you're saying, and I've talked to a few other people about it, and that's my whole thing is.
Now, I will say this: you can't smoke crack for 30 years and not be called a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? You smoking crack, whether you smoking it or not. You being called a crackhead for 30 fucking years, you smoke crack. So you being called a pedophile and a molester and all this shit your entire life, whether you did it or not, that's what you are. And I'm not saying that he wasn't weird with little kids, because I've been researching this shit. I've been a Michael Jackson fan since I was a kid, and he was weird around kids. I seen an interview with him just the other day where he was being interviewed by a guy, and he was just sitting on the couch with a little kid, with a fucking 14-year-old little boy holding his hand. They were waffling, dude. They had their fingers interlocked, and they were hanging out on the couch just holding hands. And I know that people listening have seen the people around Michael Jackson and the way they act around Michael Jackson. People are fainting, passing out. You know what I'm saying? People lose their shit over Michael Jackson for whatever reason.
Yeah,
it's weird, man. I mean, he was just a.
Hold on, real quick. Instagram. That's all we have. You have to listen to the rest of it on your favorite podcast listening platform. See ya.
I hear you. You always cut me off when I'm ranting, man.
No, you're still live, motherfucker.
But what I'm saying, you told me to hold on, so I had to stop. I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, you know, of his music, and you know, I grew up with Michael Jackson. I'm not.
Y'all know each other, but y'all lived around the block.
No, man, I grew up around his music, around him on TV.
Yeah,
I remember.
You said I grew up with him.
I did. I grew up with Michael Jackson. I mean, he was a part of my childhood because I listened to his music. He was, yeah, I grew up with Michael Jackson. I also grew up with Kurt Cobain. I also grew up with Eddie Vedder. I also grew up with, you know, a lot of these musicians that I listen to, they help mold me and make me into who I am today. Music is a big part of my life, dude. And I don't think that somebody like, I mean, he's been accused of the shit his entire life since he's been an adult almost through the years. I don't recall, and you know, I'm just paraphrasing here and I'm my own opinions. I don't think he's ever been solidly convicted of any of it. He's either paid people off or it just didn't happen. So just let the shit go. Listen to his music, enjoy the shit, and just let the man be dead.
You tell that to all the little boys that he molested, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that that's what that whole documentary was about, is for the truth to come out.
Yeah,
So,
it was the finalization. It was the finalization of another documentary that this guy started about coming to Graceland and meeting Michael Jackson, like in the early 2000s, I think, or maybe even the mid 90s. And then he's done this whole other documentary. I can't call his name. He's an Indian guy. And now he's releasing this one this many years later. It's bullshit, man. I'm not saying what Michael Jackson has been accused of is right. I'm not condoning it. I don't, you know, I don't endorse that kind of shit. But he's dead. He's been dead for years now. 10 years, I think. Let it go. Enjoy his music. And just let him be dead.
all right, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Michael fucking Jackson.
We're just gonna let him be dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so next topic. Do you think that a man has his place in the house, and a woman has her place in the house?
50-50.
50-50. Okay, so in my mind, regardless of the situation, regardless of the people, I'm assuming that there would be some sort of agreement before people moved in together and lived together. So one guy might be, okay, so he's kind of Southern, old-fashioned. He does all the yard work, maintains the vehicles, is the breadwinner, while the woman is at home cooking, cleaning. She goes to work too. She's an independent woman. But just when they both get home, they both have separate duties. So do you think that there are women out there that still hold on to those old-fashioned Southern country woman, values, like that mentality, you know what I mean? That old-fashioned, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of my damn kitchen.
Yep, of course there are. Of course there are.
We'll give you a blowjob, at the drop of a hat, you know what I mean? Just come over there and sit beside you and just, pull your cock out and just start sucking on it, and don't want anything in return. But like, I bet my man's had a rough day at work today. Let me go ahead and give him a little blowjob real quick, release some of that stress and that tension and pressure. Do you think women like that still exist?
Oh yeah.
So is it? Now, I know that there are cultural differences and generation differences, but if a woman does do those things and have that mentality, is that wrong in today's society? You think people shun that? With the whole Me Too movement and the feminists, you know what I mean? Like, is a woman allowed to be that Southern old-fashioned woman and just please her man and treat him like the king of the house, and kind of respectfully 50-50, but both parties knowing their place in the household?
Yeah, it exists. There are women out there that still believe that way, but it's accepted and it's not accepted.
It's accepted where would you think that it's not accepted?
Are you talking about America or the world?
Well, I mean, I'd assume that
because you said the cultural differences. I mean, there are some cultures that the man is the head of his household, the woman does what the man says. You know what I mean? But in America, I would say in the more populated city rural areas where, you know, that's usually not the norm, big cities and shit, I would think. That's more of your southern thing, man. That's more of your old country folk kind of mentality. Is the man works, he cuts the grass, he keeps the yard clean, he takes the trash out. The woman's pregnant, barefoot, with a frying pan in her hand.
You know, see, people,
You know
it's
what I'm
people like
saying?
you that say things like that have people misconstruing shit.
Dude, I'm just saying that's a southern mentality. That's something that happens in the South. That shit don't happen over there on the West Coast with in them big city areas like that. I mean, it probably does here and there, but and I share responsibility in my house. My household's not run like that. We share responsibility in my house.
I'm not talking about sharing or not sharing. I'm saying that it's an equal. Everybody agrees on the situation. There was a conversation that was had prior to, you know, marrying, and, you know, it's okay. So if you get to know somebody, and you'll realize pretty quick that, okay, she's not gonna be the wife that I would hope she would be. You know what I mean? So you move on to the next.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm talking about that everybody's happy. You just have that woman that, you know, this is my house. I mean, that's your yard, that's your garage. You know what I mean? But this is my house.
Yeah.
So, dude, I imagine, can you believe that there's women who are just giving blowjobs all willy-nilly like that?
I know, right? I've heard stories. That's a whole, like, grown folks fairy tale. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I mean, I'm sure it's out there. I mean, it obviously is, because we're talking about it.
So is it wrong if your wife went to work and she cut the grass and washed the cars and shit, and you were cooking and carrying kids to school and, you know, doing all the dad things?
What about that? What if?
Is that okay? You think that?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're both doing the same amount of shit. It doesn't matter who's doing it. Like my house, we share responsibilities. My wife doesn't cut grass. She does yard work. She plants flowers and flower beds and stuff like that. But I cut the grass. I trim the hedges and all that kind of shit. But she does yard work. I'm not saying she doesn't do any of it, but, you know, it's a shared thing. There's nobody in the house does more than the other. I mean, on occasion I get lazy. On occasion she gets lazy. You know what I mean? So it's a shared thing that I think is probably the most accepted. I think.
But do you think that a male would probably get picked on?
Oh, yeah.
But a female, she would be praised. Look at that girl out there mowing the grass, working on her own shit, fixing her own cars and changing her own oil. Look at her. You go, girl. But if a dude does the cooking and running the kids back and forth and all that shit, they're like, look at that little pussy motherfucker right there. Look at this.
Dude, I was a stay-at-home dad for about 3 years whenever my wife was going to nursing school, because it was just cheaper to keep the kids at the house than it was to put them through daycare. So I've done a little bit of that while she was in school and working. I've done a little bit of all that. Washing the clothes, washing dishes, bathing the kids, making sure they fed, into bed, off to school, you know what I'm saying? Grass cut, yard work. I done all that shit while she went to school and worked full time. So I ain't above doing any of that shit.
So do you? I think I would worry a little bit about, and I'm not saying this is right. I'm old school and I'm Southern. I would worry that my wife would lose respect for me if I didn't go to work every day. I know that's sad and probably so untrue. You know what I mean? But there's got to come a time where okay, let's say a guy fell on some hard times, lost his job, laid off, got fired, whatever the situation is, and he's in between jobs and he's actively looking. Today, you don't even have to leave the house to look for a job. Not like it back in the day. Back in the day, you had to make sure your wife saw you leaving the house at like 7 o'clock and don't come back until she gets home from work, just to let her know, hey, look, I'm out here doing a damn thing. I'm out here trying to find some work.
Right.
You know, and,
Yeah.
but today, you don't do that shit no more. You don't go to the fucking wherever you want to work and be like, hey, may I speak to the manager? And then hey, my name is.
Let me get an application.
But see, I've always been against that. When I talk to younger, even when I was younger, I always asked to speak to the manager. a lot of my friends, and I knew they would do that. They, I guess, shy or whatever. They'll just go up to the counter. Hey, can I get an application? And they're like, I'll take it home and fill it out.
Now, I've always done my applications right there at the spot. I didn't never take them home. I always done them right there. That was my way of letting them know that I was serious about the job. I'm gonna fill that motherfucker out right now and give it to you. I ain't gonna take it home.
Now, when you went looking for a job, or just to fill out the application, say, you don't have to be. Would you be dressed just a certain way just to go pick up an application and fill it out?
No.
So you would walk into an establishment with your Crocs, your fanny pack, your cargo shorts, and be like, hey, what's up? My name's Red. I'm Red.
Y'all heard? Y'all heard?
Yeah. May I have an application?
No, dude. I mean, I wore whatever I wore back then. You know what I mean? I never got dressed up to go application hunting.
No.
No. I wore what I wore, man. Yeah, I mean, because back then I wasn't all tatted up. I didn't have big holes in my ears. You know what I mean? I didn't have all that shit. So whatever I wore was what the kids were wearing, and you didn't. You looked a little different, but you didn't have all this extra billboard advertisement all over your body.
So would you not be worried about somebody taking that application, and it could be just a regular old employee that you just handed the application to, and they would saw your parents, and they're like, fuck that guy, ball it up and throw it in a damn trash can?
Nah.
So when you walk into, back in the day when you was young and used to fill out applications, did you walk into the establishment and be like, all right now?
No, I wasn't.
I'm Red. And I'm here for application.
No, dude, what are you? Come on, man.
You strike me as one of those guys that write their tongue out.
With my tongue out?
Yeah, you ever see? Yeah, you ever see those guys that in school when they was writing, their tongue was all hanging out?
Yeah, that ain't me, man. I don't do that. No, don't do that.
Oh, so what? You're better than everybody now because you don't do that?
No, I didn't say I was better than anybody. I just don't do that.
Oh, I thought that's what you were insinuating, that you were better than everybody.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
No, I've never been better than anybody.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for those who listen to us, but for those who watch us on YouTube, Red, what the fuck is this satanic thing you got behind you? What is that? Yeah. What is that? What is that?
Oh, that's not satanic, dude. What?
What is it?
This is the Sublime Son. Remember the album 40 Ounce to Freedom?
Yeah.
That's satanic. Don't you ever do that, son.
Well, I got to make sure that you're not broadcasting hidden messages over you, because they will flag you for that. I hope they will, because if they don't, then anybody can all share demonic shit all willy-nilly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's freedom of expression, man. I can hang whatever I want to back here.
Right, but I get a lot of messages sent to me, a lot of dumb shit, some, guy stuff, back and forth. But there's always that one guy who likes to send, like, murder type shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm not trying to see that. I'm not trying to see I'm not trying to see somebody get their limbs hacked off with a fucking chainsaw. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
Dude, I got this one cat who sends me shit, and it's always the weirdest, most grotesque shit.
Videos?
Yeah, well, yeah. Some of them are like almost like memes
of murder.
Yeah, dude. Videos of like Mexican cartel fucking cutting dudes' heads off with chainsaws, and I had to tell them after about 3 or 4 of them, look, once those videos start and I see what kind of video it is, I don't watch that shit. I like gory shit. I mean, I'm into all that shit, but dude, I am not trying to watch a fucking video of some poor guy or girl. I've seen the girls too, where motherfuckers are just skinning them alive and just dumb shit. I tell them, look, don't send me that shit no more.
How is that even on Facebook? Murder, like literal murder. How does that shit even on Facebook, dude?
Yeah, dude. There's been times where I'm like, holy shit, this looks like some phone video type shit. You know what I mean? Like somebody captured this on their phone and put it on social media. It's ridiculous. Apparently, you can share that kind of shit privately, just not, in a public forum.
It's not. None of it's public though, or private. It's all public.
Right. And that's my whole thing when people talk about, that the government's listening to you, and listen. If they want to watch me post fucking pictures of my motorcycle, my kids, my beard products, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By all means, have at it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But then again, with growing up in a military family, I was pretty much taught that there's always somebody listening.
Oh yeah, always. I hope people are listening to this.
Yeah, but this ain't no, we're not talking about no secret, I mean.
No, I'm just hope people are listening. I mean, that's why we do this, right? So people can listen to it.
Well, I do it because, you're my friend. I like talking to you. We have good conversations. We talk about a wide variety of. I know that there has been days where you and I will have a 4-hour conversation and cover just about every fucking topic under the book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, when I say 4 hours, I'm a truck driver, so I have a Bluetooth. Red, he's a painter, and he has a Bluetooth. So while he's working and while I'm working, we chit chat during the day.
Yeah.
But I usually have to cut it short because when you paint in a corner in a bathroom, the acoustics in there are outstanding. So much so that I can't understand. Like I can hear you, but I can't hear you. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear you talking, but it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Want, 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 want.
So your ride this weekend to Daytona, I meant to ask you this a while ago. I seen some people on your social media there asking about titties.
Yeah.
So while you were in Daytona last day or so, how many pairs do you think you seen of bare titty?
Bare titty?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The first one that I saw was when we first got there. 3 chicks were walking down the road. And again, I'm going to go back to the whole ape hangers, and it just looks different, and it just stands out. So people see.
Yeah, we know how you fucking bite. I'm talking about titties right now, okay?
Yeah.
Titties.
That's what I'm saying. So in a row of bikes, 3 chicks are walking down the road, and they're doing the whole, like, they're not taking. She was in a bikini, so she was like just fluffing them with them in the top,
Mm-hmm.
just. And then she got to me and she whipped that motherfucker out and showed me the whole.
Oh yeah.
She showed me the nipple and everything.
Because your bike was so much cooler than everybody, so she thought she'd show you the titty instead of everybody else that can still see the titty when they walk by you.
No, look at his face, man. It's because I'm hot.
You got a face for fucking podcasting, that's for sure.
I'm handsome. She said so. She said, handsome. Here's my titty.
So out in a public forum in a line of motorcycles,
I saw the titty.
These chicks are walking by, and everybody else is walking by, and she only fluffed them in the bathing suit when she was walking by everybody else. But when she got to you, she showed you the whole titty, thinking only you could see it because your bike was cooler? Because everybody else seen that motherfucker too.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know what she did before she got into my line of sight or what happened when she left my line of sight. But what I saw was fluff, 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 nipple, fluff, 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 fluff. But then I go into, so when I'm on Bike Week, there's about 5 different places that all the bikers go. So you're talking about thousands of bikers. So some go to the Love's truck stop off 95. Some go to some bars and shit off A1A. All these places lead to
Beachfront Avenue?
Yeah. Hey, but there's what was that fucking Yellow Card? Remember them?
Yeah.
They're from Jacksonville, and their hit song that made them popular was actually about Jacksonville. How's the
That's so
song?
fucking awesome, dude. I'm talking about titties here. Can we get back to the titties? I don't give a fuck about Yellow Card.
I tried to get back to the titties, but you kept trying to
We were talking about titties right now, okay?
yeah, but you were trying to offend me.
No, I
Trying to
wasn't.
yeah, you were trying to say that I'm not good looking and my bike sucks.
I didn't say you weren't good looking. You're a sexy motherfucker, but I'm just saying.
You were like, why would she show you the nipple? You're ugly
Right.
and your bike sucks and it's ugly.
No, dude. I kind of admire your bike. It looks good. I don't admire your face because I think you're an ugly motherfucker. You know what I mean? But
Well,
I just find it amusing that she would wait till she got to you and your ape-hangered bike and your scruffy, bearded, sexy-looking face and show nipple, but then wouldn't show nobody else, thinking nobody else could see that motherfucker. I find humor in that. The way you told the story. So I'm just trying to figure out in the course of the day in Daytona Beach how many titties you've seen. That's all I'm trying to figure out here.
I know, but you keep interrupting me. So let me get back to it. Okay. All right, don't slow it down just a little bit. Uncle Paycheck can tell you a little story about Bike Week 2019, Daytona, Florida. So I've already
Daytona, Florida.
See, nobody else heard that except you, motherfucker.
Daytona.
All right, let me back up. Hey, yo, what's up, motherfuckers? It's your Uncle Paycheck. We're fixing it. It's story time with Uncle Paycheck. We're gonna take y'all back to 2019, Biketoberfest. I mean, Bike Week.
Okay.
Yeah. Bike Week. No, that's in October.
Okay.
So I already told y'all about the first pair of titties that I saw. Well, I saw one titty. So then I go in, and there's these all up and down Main Street. There's bars everywhere, pop-up bars, real deal bars, whatever. So I go into this place, and the first thing I see is this chick's got like some, they're like booty. They're almost like booty shorts, that chicks wear to bed or whatever. But they're like they're almost like Hooter shorts, but way less material. So I actually think I saw tanked before I saw titty on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it was super small. It was ridiculous. I was so happy. I was like, "Oh my god, thank you."
Is that a first for Daytona, seeing taint at Daytona? Is that something that very rarely gets seen, or do you see a lot of taint there in Daytona? Asses on the back of motorcycles, kind of. I mean, are you seeing taint, or what's going on here?
Yeah, oh yeah, I saw quite a lot of that. So here's the crazy thing about that. I was thinking about this while I was looking at this.
Right.
So it's hot when you see a chick on the back of a bike, ass up, got some little booty shorts on. Okay, so they look pretty provocative on the bike. But can you imagine? Okay, what if she gets off the bike and she's walking? I mean, there's a lot of shops, there's a lot of shit to do when you're down there. You know what I mean? So I imagine it'd be a different vibe walking around like that as opposed to just being on the back of a bike. You know what I mean? Because there's a bit of sex appeal on the back of the bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think some of those girls do it on purpose because they know what their ass looks like on the back of a bike. But most of the time, in my experience, when you see a pretty ass on the back of a motorcycle, when she gets off of it and she's walking down the boulevard with her man on the motorcycle, her ass still looks good. Nothing changes. I just think the back of that motorcycle accentuates a little bit. You know what I mean? They know. Of course they know. They wouldn't be on it if they didn't know.
Yeah. Well, so I ended up seeing about 5 pairs of titties in one day, and I was only there for about 5 hours and saw that many pairs of titties.
That's a pair an hour. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good odds.
No, I can't say that everybody got to see 5 pairs of titties while they were. You know what I mean? But your boy Uncle Paycheck, boy, he synced them.
He synced the titties.
I synced the shit.
The only 5 pair of titties synced in Daytona. Uncle Paycheck synced.
Well, no, I can't say that. I'm pretty sure that at least one of them pair, a bunch of us saw, because she was up on the stage, like she was up there to show you the titties. You know, like when I walked in there, I knew that I was fixing to see some titties.
So do they do beads in Daytona for titties? Like Mardi Gras or no?
No, dude, that's gay shit. We're fucking bikers, bro. Okay, Don't ever disrespect fucking bike week like that.
What?
Ever again, talking about some fucking gay ass beads. Okay,
They do it at Bike Week in Myrtle Beach, and it's the same fucking thing. You talking about Harley Weekend, right? Daytona.
Yeah, but that's at Myrtle Beach. Okay,
Myrtle Beach Bike Week, dude. It's the same shit. Same
Nah.
fucking scenario.
Yeah,
Same
but-
fucking crowd of people.
Yeah, but it
Same
ain't.
motherfuckers. The same motherfuckers you seen in Daytona this weekend. Them same motherfuckers is gonna be in Myrtle Beach for Myrtle Beach, but them same motherfuckers is gonna be there.
You know what's crazy is that I saw a lot of, and I'm guilty of it. I saw a lot of Harley Davidson Myrtle Beach shirts at Daytona Bike Week.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm
Well,
sorry.
That's
Sorry.
because
Busy right now?
that's because
Should we
what?
take? Are you busy right now? Should we take five?
No,
is-
not at all.
Are you expecting a call?
No,
Uh,
no.
Well, you keep picking up your phone. It's a bit distracting.
Is it?
A tad bit.
I won't touch my phone anymore.
All right.
I'll ignore text from my wife to talk to you. Paycheck.
Well, she knows where you're at. You're down in the fucking basement. It's where you play your video games and you jerk off at.
Yeah.
So real quick, I have to tell
I told you not to bother me while I'm cleaning my room.
Yeah. I told you not to bother me when I'm talking to my friends.
Yeah. Playing Fortnite right now.
So for those who don't know, and again, I apologize. Ooh, excuse me. Damn.
Put them cigarettes down, son.
That swallow went down the wrong pipe.
Need to put them cigarettes down. You got that Billy D. Williams cough.
I know, man. I want to quit smoking so bad. I'm making arrangements to quit though. So let's talk
Making
about this-
arrangements to quit.
Yeah. So let's talk about this bubble that you're in right now.
Bubble that I'm in right now.
I think I'm pretty safe to say that Red is literally inside of a fucking bubble right now. Are you?
I'm in a little room. Yeah.
Okay, so in that room, are you enclosed in some sort of saran wrap type shit?
Saran wrap type shit. No. Why would you ask?
Do you have a canopy over you right now?
A canopy? No.
Is there anything above your head?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a ceiling.
Okay, so tell our listeners about what you had to do in order to.
I would show you, but my camera's fixed to my laptop. I can't.
All right, so what is
set in
it?
a particular way. What?
So
what is
explain
what?
this. Describe this little setup you have so you can smoke down in the dungeon, in the podcast dungeon. See, y'all don't realize this, but Red actually co-hosts this podcast in a fucking dungeon. I'm pretty sure he's the last guy in the world to actually own and operate inside of a dungeon.
Owner operator here, Red. Dude, it's just a room that I podcast in, and the ceiling of this room is the floor of my house. So when I smoke excessively down here, it kind of seeps through the floor, and it creates a smell upstairs in my house, and I don't smoke in my house. So I had to create a barrier between me and up there. So I had to hang some stuff.
So we talking about like Bubble Boy type shit here?
No,
Like,
man, no.
Okay, so
it's just 10 mil poly plastic. That's it.
Oh, say that again.
10 mil poly plastic.
10 mil polyplastic.
Yeah, you ever seen the show Dexter?
No, dude, I'm too busy working and doing man shit. Okay, well, I'm out here riding.
You don't watch TV at all, do you? You don't
Well,
watch
when I have time.
anyway. For people that watch TV, if you've ever seen an episode of Dexter, that's what this podcast room looks like. It's strode in plastic like a crime scene, except for this wall. So yeah, I'm kind of in a bubble. Yeah, just so I can smoke.
So it almost looks like one of those quarantine tents.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost.
So
Kind of like a greenhouse, almost.
So what year is your house that would allow cigarette smoke to seep through not only your ceiling that you're in right now, but the floor above you also? Like it penetrates all that shit? How old is that fucking house?
2011.
I bet souls can seep through that.
2000. I think it's built in 2011.
Really? And fucking the smell seeps through the fucking.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure it goes up. I'm sure it goes up your little staircase up into the fucking house, and that's where you're smelling it from.
No, it's coming up through the ceiling of this room.
So how would you find that out? Somebody was laying on the floor upstairs and with their nose on.
No,
I smell it.
no, man, it just comes up and the smell gets in the house.
That right there is a 305 menthol.
A 305 menthol.
What do you smoke?
What the fuck is that? What's that?
Are there not 305 menthols?
No, what the fuck is that? What is a 305 menthol?
It's your basic, it's your basic generic cigarette.
No, I don't smoke generic cigarettes.
What kind of cigarettes you smoke? Marlboro 72?
Marlboro 72.
Marlboro.
Marlboro.
See that it's crazy how people name shit and say, okay, well, this is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
So it should be pronounced Marlboro.
Yeah. But it ain't. It's Marlboro.
It's M-A-R Boro. Marlboro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
or if you get real lazy with it, it's Marlboro.
So you've never smoked a generic brand of cigarettes?
Yes, I have actually. When I was in high school, I smoked Harley Davidson cigarettes.
Yo, I was talking to somebody about that today because I went to this ride for this little kid's birthday, and when I got there and got parked, pulled out my cigarette pack, and I had one cigarette in that motherfucker, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? So I asked one of the guys in my club for a cigarette, and he gave me a Time cigarette. It says Time on it. And I was like, no, it was Time Light. I thought it said Time Life at first. I was like, holy shit, what kind of fucking cigarettes are these?
Time Life cigarette.
Yeah, these are definitely government-issued cigarettes.
Yeah, I used to smoke Harley Davidsons whenever I was in high school.
Well, see, I don't think Harley Davidson would fall into the category that I'm fixing to describe to you, but it is to my understanding that those cheap cigarettes that that you buy for the $2-3 or whatever, that is actual the tobacco that fell on the floor when
floor sweepings. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's why they're able to sell it, at such a cheap price because it's not as good quality.
Right.
So I'm trying to quit smoking, and I've tried to smoke cigarettes that I don't like, just so I can get that fix, but not enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, some of that shit is just so horrible, man. The taste is horrible. It's got like this aftertaste to it. It makes my lungs and my throat just, the whole thing appears fake. Everything about it.
You're smoking a cigarette called Time.
Yeah, right. Oh, and
how ironic, right?
Yeah. And he is a listener, so shout out to my boy with them Time cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean, you have a cigarette called Time, and they say that every cigarette you smoke takes a minute off your life or something like that.
Really? Is that where all this fucking gray hair has come from all of a sudden?
That's what I've heard.
60 now?
You look like an old man right now. You're like you about to go fishing with Bill Dance or somebody. Like you get ready to load the truck up and go fishing.
Yeah.
That's what you look like.
What are you saying? I give off this old country boy vibe?
Yeah, the country boy.
It's all a fake. It's all a front. I went to an Ivy League school and private school in high school.
You went to country boy community college, didn't you?
No, they gave us a class when I was in the Ivy League on how to be a country boy, and I was
Yeah.
I would really like to use the word y'all a lot. But that's a stereotype. I really
like to incorporate the word y'all into my vernacular. Is that possible?
Yeah.
What class do I have to take to do that?
But see, that's a stereotype because I use the word y'all, but it's not like part of my everyday vocabulary. You know what I mean? It's not often that Uncle Paycheck's talking to a group of people. I'm not that guy that's going to be in front of a room,
in front of y'all.
Yeah, it's not very often that I'm in front of y'all. You know what I mean? I might be in front of you.
Yeah, that's funny. Speaking of which, we got invited to go to Rochester, New York, this August to set up the old Paycheck and Red booth and do a little bit of podcasting and interviewing and stuff during their beard competition this year, Boomtown Brothers in Rochester.
I'm excited about this one. I
Yeah.
haven't. I've been to New York once, maybe twice.
Now, I went a few years ago just to go to the competition. Me and old Rob Johnson were judging. And when you go to Rochester, it's not like big city New York. That's the rural part of New York to me. It's not, it's, side streets and communities and neighborhoods and um, Mexican shops and food stores and stuff like that. Rochester's the home of the garbage plate. Dude, you ever had a garbage plate? I'm getting ready to show you a garbage plate in August, dude, that'll rock your world.
I think I saw when you got back. I think I saw photos of some shit that
Dude.
you're talking about.
Oh, man.
What is it exactly?
It's like a styrofoam tray, like a to-go box, right? And depending on where you go, you get a choice of meat, whether it be hamburger patties, chicken fingers, hot dogs lined in the bottom of it, whatever. Ham, I think they even do ham or something. And then you get some kind of sauce, some kind of chili sauce, some kind of hot sauce. Then you get a noodle. Then you get like cheese and shit like that, all conglomerated and piled up in this to-go box.
Conglomerated?
Conglomerated, yeah. All like melded together and all on top of one another and mixed together. And it's a garbage plate, and it's the best shit in the world, dude.
It sounds delicious.
It's fucking amazing. And I'm getting ready to show you one whenever we get there. So
if there's anybody in the area, anywhere near Rochester, New York, come by and buy your boy Red and I beer.
yeah, I drink
What's
beer.
the date again?
August 17th. We'll start advertising it the closer it gets. It's I can't remember the venue. I know they told me that it was zombie themed. So that should be interesting.
So competitors dress up as zombies?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
those things are always fun, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been to one in a while, but
Me either.
there's definitely a lot of people there.
Oh yeah.
And if you go to enough of them, you start seeing the same people over and over again, and you can't help but to talk to them and congratulate them and how you and how you,
How's your mom and how y'all?
how y'all.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on stage for public speaking? Have you ever spoke publicly? Are you wearing a Sean John hoodie right now?
No, man, it's Old Navy.
Oh,
Old
it looks
Navy.
like. Oh, okay, I didn't see
Old
that.
Navy.
No, if it would have been Sean John, that would have been epic.
No, it wasn't Sean John.
Is it food?
Fubu, yeah. It's boo, it's Boo-Foo.
Yeah. So yeah, Rochester, New York, in August. You have
Buy us, fuck you.
get there. We kiss too. If y'all come, y'all probably get a kiss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have some stickers and probably some T-shirts and shit like that. Probably
Some kisses.
some kisses, some ass groping,
Maybe a handy.
maybe a handy under the table.
Oh, you're shy all of a sudden. huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do them publicly. I'm gonna do them under the table. I'm giving mine away secretly, so you don't know if you're gonna get one or not. If you sit down beside me, you might get a handy. You never know.
So yeah, beard competition. It's actually a facial hair competition because all facial hair is valid. So if you're not in the Rochester area, but you have any kind of facial hair, a mustache, a goatee, a full beard, whatever, it doesn't matter. Except for a soul patch. I'm pretty sure that those are frowned upon at a beard competition.
Can't say as I've ever seen one compete.
What if somebody only let their soul patch grow and it was super long, like hung down to like their belly button, and they could style it and shit? You know what I mean?
That would be pretty dope.
Just a soul patch.
That would be pretty dope.
See, a lot of people don't understand. Most men who are not involved in like the beard community and go to beard competitions and shit, they get to a certain growth and they end up cutting it off. it starts to itch. Maybe they don't take care of it properly, so they get a little beard dandruff. And of course that causes, that leads to scratching at it, you know what I mean? And just fucking.
Mhm.
So think about the patience and the discipline not to shave your beard when you first grow a beard.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because you may have rocked a goatee or whatever, but when you start growing a full beard, the mustache is all in the way, the shit's running down your neck like nobody's business. You don't know what to do with it. Am I supposed to cut this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, all facial hair is valid. If you are anywhere near the Rochester area during that date in August, sign in and compete. It's all for a good cause. Most of these competitions are for charity.
All of them are that I've ever seen. I haven't been the one that wasn't charity related. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time, man. We were supposed to do this same shit in Myrtle Beach last year, but fucking hurricanes got in the way.
Yeah. Hey, have you ever been to a store and when you put all your shit on the fucking counter, they ask, will that be all?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, for some reason that's weird to me. Like, okay, you saw me walking around in the store, and now I'm up here at the counter, and they ask, will that be all? Now I know that they're asking because they're assuming that maybe I want cigarettes or a cigar or something, you know what I mean? So I understand it, but every time they ask me that, I can't help but to think, no, this is all the stuff I have on the counter is the stuff that I don't want. Ring everything else up back there and put it and bag it up.
Yeah, I'm bringing you the stuff that I'm not paying for. Here, don't put this on my tab. Put everything else on there.
Yeah, so like random questions and random words that are just weird and just don't make sense. Like apartment. Apartments those are together, right? That's crazy. So imagine this. So an architect and a builder, they build an apartment, and they're the very first apartment, and they're standing in front of it, arms folded, all proud of themselves, like, it's beautiful. What do we call it? Now, this is a building made up of several units, all crammed in together. Right?
So they should have called them compartments.
Or how about togetherments? A driveway. Nobody fucking drives in a driveway. You don't drive in it.
Park in it.
Right. So think about, okay, it's called a driveway. I guess that means it's a way off of the drive. It's like I'm trying to figure out. See, imagine there's some asshole is coming up with these names. Baloney. How do you spell baloney?
Bolonga.
No. Holy shit.
Bologna.
Yes, you spelled it wrong, but I think you just made it. Spell it.
Okay, it's Bologna.
Yeah, I think you added an additional N or somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Baloney. Where's the fucking G?
I've seen it spelled, like in cartoon, like comics and shit like that. It's Baloney.
Yeah, but that was a spoof off of Baloney.
Yeah.
So again,
isn't it a country somewhere, Bologna or something? It's a state or a city somewhere.
No. Let's moving on.
I'm pretty sure it is.
So some dude got paid, I guess maybe, to come up with a name for. So just somebody threw a slice of bologna on the damn table or the wall. That shit sticks to every fucking thing. And they were like, "Oh, that's bologna," but here's the marketing.
I think it came from this country, is why it's called that. Like it originated slicing tubular meat into slices and putting it on a sandwich. I think it originated.
This motherfucker just tubular meat.
Yeah, like you can buy bologna in a tube, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like uncut. So they had a tube of meat, tubular meat. And they used to slice it and cut it up and put it on sandwiches, and that's where it came from. So I think that's. And whenever they brought it over to America,
Who brought it to America?
the people from Bologna, and
So
they brought it.
this is a country?
Yes, or a state or a city or something. I'm pretty sure. Google it. You got the fucking power of Google in the palm of your hand. I'm pretty sure it's like in. I can't even remember. Like it's France or Spain or somewhere. I can't remember. Somewhere in that area.
It sounds German to me.
It could be.
Yeah, I think it is. Good call, bro. Good call. I will definitely Google that, and I'll let you know. I'll keep you guys informed, okay? Stay tuned.
Appreciate it. Let us know the outcome of your Bologna research.
Yeah, more to come, guys. More to come.
Jeez, fucking baloney.
Well, no, it is Bologna.
Bologna. You're gonna start calling it Bologna from now on?
When, if I choose, it's a free country. Pretty sure I can call it whatever the fuck I want to call it.
You can call it tubular meat if you want to.
Yeah, but it's not tubular.
Yes, it is. It was tubular at one time. That's why it's in a slice.
Right, but never have I ever received Bologna in a tubular form. I have received ground beef in a tube.
You've never gotten bologna from the store in the big long red tube.
No. But I grew up on military bases, so I don't know.
You probably have. That's probably the way they bought it.
No, now I have.
You just never seen it that way. You
Right.
think it's feasibly possible or smart for the military to buy their bologna in slices or buy fucking big bulk tubes and cut it themselves?
I think it's a southern thing, the tubes part, which is why the bologna that I got and I grew up with, we had to pull the red ring off of it. Yeah. So I know that ring is part of the tube that they put all the fucking meat in. So I get it, yeah. But I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh, so you're better than me because you bought your bologna with the red ring around it.
Well, I'm cultured, man, and I'm pinky out. When most people eat bologna sandwiches, they eat them, all willy-nilly like it ain't nothing. But I'm pinky out because I respect a bologna sandwich. But not just any bologna sandwich. It's got to be
respect the bologna sandwich.
Yeah, it's got to be a fried bologna sandwich, number one, and number two.
Good call.
It's got to have Miracle Whip on it. Now, I knew you were
going
to get it. Fine, eat it the way you want to eat it. I don't give a shit. But the way I like it is with a little bit of fucking Miracle Whip on it, just a little bit.
They make Miracle Whip out of bull jizz, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit.
That's fucking disgusting, dude.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm
jerking. You need real hand churned mayonnaise.
Yeah, but I'm not
Dukes, baby. Dukes. That's the only fucking mayonnaise there is fucking Dukes.
Yeah, I enjoyed
a little fucking Miracle Whip on my fried bologna sandwich. That's so fucking gay, dude.
Can you imagine, being that asshole man of the house, and he's like, where is the Miracle Whip? Why isn't there any Miracle Whip in the refrigerator?
Where's my damn Miracle Whip?
Yeah. Hey, there was one time.
Miracle Whip.
I was eating dinner. It was spaghetti and salad. It was a good meal, and I was genuinely upset that I didn't have croutons for my salad. Like I showed my ass. Ew. I was like, I work 70 fucking hours a week, and I can't even get croutons on my salad. Dude. And then all of a sudden it hit me. I was like, holy shit! I'm fucking eating salad and fucking spaghetti. Got me some Texas toast over here. Like I'm living a good life. You know what I mean? I have a well balanced meal right in front of me, and I'm over here bitching about some fucking croutons. Like so much, it probably cost me sex that night over some fucking.
That's pretty petty, man.
Right?
Petty. Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer in sometimes you just got to kick the door open when
just
you get
garlic flavored stale bread. You pitched a fit over garlic flavored stale bread.
I'm sorry. Was I talking while you were interrupting?
Yeah, you were.
Oh, that's my bad, man. That's on me.
Dude, fucking croutons are gross. They're disgusting. They're fucking garlic flavored stale bread. That's.
Yeah, listen, I'm not a big crouton fan, but
evidently you pitched a bitch about some croutons.
I pitched a bitch.
That's what you just said. You said you pitched. You caused the scene over some croutons. You pitched a bitch.
No, I've pitched a fit. and I've caused the scene, but I've never pitched a bitch. Do that.
Yeah.
You're one of those crazy.
Evidently, you don't listen to Richard Pryor stand up.
Yeah, of course I do. I listen to all that.
You would have gotten that reference when I said pitch a bitch.
Listen, of course I did. Okay, but I'm not gonna let you get away with just throwing out some badass Richard Pryor reference. You mean what?
You know that was Richard Pryor, man. Don't even try to go. No, you didn't.
Let me explain something to you. Where I grew up at in Europe, we only had one channel.
That was the Richard Pryor channel.
No. What I'm saying is we only had one TV channel. So I didn't grow up sitting in front of a TV watching TV. I had to depend on the old school shit. You know what I mean? So I grew up on records of fucking Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean?
That's where I heard it. That was on a record.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? So don't you ever, in your God,
all right,
disrespect. Excuse me.
All right, finish. But I'm getting ready to prove my point. Just go ahead and finish.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm gonna let you finish,
sir. Excuse me.
But when you get done,
yeah,
I'm getting ready to prove my point. Go ahead, continue.
Don't you ever, in your God-fearing life, ever disrespect my interests and my likes, things that I'm into, especially things that I take seriously, which is comedy and stand-up.
All right.
Okay.
Are you done?
I don't know. Is there going to be an apology after that?
No, there's not, because I want you to tell me what it referenced in. If you think you know what it was it referencing then?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I mean, damn, I got to go all the way there? I mean, come on.
I went all the way there. It's something I remember growing up because it was funny as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're not exactly
Richard Pryor had a line that he done about something happening important at 11:30. You gonna be here at 11:30? Yeah, man, I'm gonna be here at 11:30. What's going on at 11:30? Oh man, we're gonna pitch a bitch at 11:30. We're gonna pitch a bitch at 11:30, and you didn't even. And that was, even when I was growing up, that was funny.
Right. That was interesting, man. We appreciate that, Red.
I'm cultured.
yeah, you are. You're vaping an awful lot tonight.
I'm what?
Vaping. No cigarettes tonight?
I've smoked a few. Where you been?
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my willpower in check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a little inebriated. I'm not even gonna lie about it. You know, why lie about it? You know, and can't none of y'all whoop me. You can't punish me. So
you've been drinking that
white lightning, that white lightning from the backyard over there by the grapevine.
Yeah,
past the cow pasture.
Wow, damn, that's too far. You shouldn't make it way out there. That's too far to walk to get fucking moonshine, man.
Well, you can't exactly have it up on your front porch.
Yeah, but you ain't got to walk 10 miles to get it.
Yeah, but those 10 miles build character, my friend. They build character. And if there's one thing I know,
that's building character.
Character. And a little bit of that white lightning.
White lightning.
Now, for those who don't know what that white lightning is, that's that backyard whiskey. Okay, that's that backyard stuff.
Backyard whiskey.
That's my preference these days. That's what
it's not really whiskey though.
Right. Yeah.
That's corn liquor.
Right.
Which I'm pretty sure that it's not whiskey. I'm pretty sure that's not what that is.
Yeah, you just said that. Okay, I'm intoxicated. Okay, I've been drinking. So what were you? What are we doing here? Are you trying to embarrass me in front of my friends?
No, man. I heard you say it was backyard whiskey, but it's not whiskey.
Well, I grew up
not even close to being whiskey.
Drinking whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Me too. That's my preference.
I didn't ask you if you did. It ain't all about you, Red. Sometimes it's about me. Okay.
Okay. I mean, that's.
Where were we? What was the next topic?
I don't know. We're talking about moonshine.
I'm ready to fight now. I'm ready to talk shit and drink beer, and I'm all out of beer.
Well, go ahead. Fire off.
What was the next topic?
I don't think there was one.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Whatever you want to talk about. I done told you I don't care what we talk about.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that your lack of care. Now I didn't want to do this, on this episode or whatever, but it's time we have a little talk about, you know, you gotta
Is
get
this a damn intervention?
yeah, you gotta tighten up, man. You got volleyball going on. You got a lot of snow out yonder. You know what I mean? I need you to reel it in, okay? I need you to just reel it in. I need you to think Paycheck and Red. I need you to think graphics. I need you to think about editing and shit, okay? I need you to be on your game. I need you to, come at this like you give a shit. You keep making the comments that I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, and I don't take notes.
You're taking this way out of context. Way out of context.
I
don't give a shit about what we talk about. You're the type of media that just takes what I say.
Whoa.
And put it together.
I'm the media now?
So you're that type of media that takes what I say and puts it all together in post-production and make it say something else.
Yeah, because I do the editing.
Yeah.
I don't do the fucking editing.
You're taking what I said out of context. That's my whole point. I didn't say that you need any editing. Gee, I feel like I'm talking to a kid here. You're taking shit so literal.
Listen, God said be childlike.
Yeah, but you ain't got to act 5, motherfucker. Okay?
Well, he didn't specify. What was he talking about? Like 12?
Yeah, at least.
And where am I?
5.
And you are?
I'm at least of age, at least.
Of age?
Yeah.
So that's the new age. So if I say, "Hey, man, what's up? Hey, how old are you?"
I'm
of age. Okay, old enough for what? For butt sex?
Is there an age limit on that?
Well, I mean, imagine a dude come up and be like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm so and so. I'm okay. Hey, I'm Red. So how old are you, Red? Oh, I'm of age." I'm like, okay.
What does that got to do with butt sex?
Because you say I'm of age. So the guy's like, age for what?
You said old enough for butt sex. So there's an age limit on butt sex? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the age of consent, which is 18 years old. I don't think you should be having butt sex if you're not at least 18 years old.
Right.
Imagine
No, I don't want to imagine. That's no.
The prolapseness, if that's a word. If you started at 16,
dude, can we not talk about that?
I think it'd be blowed out by the time they're 25.
So, that brings up another good point. I had something I wanted to ask you. Ben brought this up the other day. Whenever we were on Small Town Mentality.
I'm not interested.
Oh no, it's a pretty good talking point.
All right, let's hear it. Fuck it.
All right, so if you, as a grown Paycheck, 43 years old, if you think about
wait a minute. A grown Paycheck as opposed to what? A Paycheck?
Little Paycheck. Adolescent Paycheck. You, as a grown Paycheck, 43 years old, okay? If you were to think about one of the girls you hooked up with whenever you were 15, right?
I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18 years old.
Lies.
No, that's the truth.
What?
I was a senior in high school.
A ladies' man like Paycheck lost his virginity when he was 18.
I'm not a ladies' man. What gives you that idea? I'm insecure and an introvert.
That wasn't Paycheck 20, 30 minutes ago.
That was all a skit.
Anyway, you as a grown Paycheck, if you're thinking about an encounter you had with a girl when you were 14, 15, 16 years old, is that considered pedophilia or is that normal?
No, because you're remembering it as a child.
Yeah, but you're thinking about a girl that's 15 years old.
No, but as a 15-year-older. When
15-year older?
Yeah. Yeah.
As a 15-year-older. You're still a grown person, a 43-year-old man thinking about a 15-year-old girl. Is that pedophile? Is that pedophilia or is that normal?
No. It's not pedophilia. When you go back in time, when you think about the past, you go back at that age. You are at that age because the memories that you have are of an adolescent's mind and what an adolescent sees. So, I
So
mean,
you're thinking about it as a 15-year-old, not as a 40-year-old man? Is that what you're saying?
yes. Well, it depends, if you're reminiscent or if the memory pops up into your head and you start thinking about it, that's a memory as an adolescent.
Yeah,
But
but
now,
you're thinking about it as a grown man, though.
now if you was like, what I ought to have done was, you know what I mean? Now that'd be that'd be inappropriate. But again, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 18, so
I find that hard. I find that hard to believe.
Listen, I was super shy. You think you take a kid and move him around every 5 years until he's 14 years old. You know what I mean? I was shy, and I knew that why make friends, best friends or whatever. I mean, I had friends and everything, and I had to say bye all the time, but when it came to girls and shit, I was super shy when I was young. But, a child is not comfortable in their skin. They don't know who they are yet. I didn't know who.
So once you got your first piece, you went buck wild with it. Then is what you're saying?
No, I was all about love. I was that hopeless romantic until a girl broke my heart, and then I was hit and run from that point forward. Hit and run. We gonna hit it. We gonna run.
Picking through the layers of Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah, but listen, I'm a good dude. My problem is that I love. So, and that's always been a problem. That's why I didn't lose my virginity, because I couldn't just do. It was my girlfriend. Like, I didn't just meet some random chick at a party and bang her out. You know what I mean? My first time was with my girlfriend at 18 years old. I was an athlete all through high school, so
Did you light candles and make a moment out of it on the 50-yard line and all that shit? Buy her some Chinese dinner in the little white take boxes.
No, but it was. I mean, it was special. You know what I mean? Like, that was my
the Lumineers playing in the background real softly.
The Lumineers. No, I had me some.
No, what was it? The Rembrandts.
I had R. Kelly playing.
R. Kelly, dude, come on.
Yeah. We're gonna get that to that here in a minute, but I think for me, I think it was probably Jodeci back in the day.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah, I rocked a lot of Jodeci back in the day.
That's good shit.
Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Shy. Color Me Bad. Yeah. Color Me Bad. Yeah. You listened to Color Me Bad, didn't you?
Yep.
Nerd.
Yep, I did. Yeah.
Those were the. Now, I ain't saying that like I'm a singer or nothing, but I can hold a tune. I can go into a karaoke bar and them not run me off.
If I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the ladies
like you.
There you go. That was going to just finish it. Yeah. You got it.
We was fixing to go into
hell yeah
two different lines.
Yep. Hell yeah.
So I was that kid. Now, what I could do, I was shy and everything, but I could sing. I've sang to a few girls back in the day.
Right
16, 17 years old, You
you set your boom box out in the grass and fucking like do it all to them over their windowsill and shit.
I'd be all a cappella. Doom 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 da da. Doom 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 da da. Ay 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 da.
Yeah. That's good shit.
All acapella.
Acapella.
Acapella. Damn, why are you? What is going on tonight? Why are you doing this to me?
Cause I can, man. It's funny.
But once I got
gotta keep your grammar in check, man.
Once I got a couple of 1,000 cigarettes in me throughout the years, now I've got this raspy, Josh Turner thing.
Billy D. Williams call.
Yeah, like my like at night and in the morning, my shit's like super deep, like oh yeah. Welcome back to 99.1. Not what, huh?
Anybody want to hear that shit, man?
Oh, yeah. Slow jams. It's your 10 o'clock special. We're going to go back to back with Jodeci.
You're on the line, caller. What's going on?
Popo is hanging out on the corner of 3rd and 20. Oh.
Yeah. So did you see the breakdown of R. Kelly in that interview on TV the other night, dude?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Michael Jackson thing was just for conversational purposes. I had to like dig in to find any information about that. The truth is that I don't waste 1 minute of my time worrying about what some other guy did, much less some entertainer that's been living in the lap of luxuries. And you know what I mean? Like I don't involve myself in anything that goes on with athletes, entertainers. I don't give a shit.
You gotta see it though.
Huh? Why?
You gotta see it though, because you're on social media. You ain't gonna tell me you ain't seen nothing about R. Kelly because you don't pay attention to that kind of shit.
I know the story already. It doesn't matter.
We're not talking about what he done back in the 90s. We ain't talking about this is a whole nother shit.
Yeah, it's about the same,
this man's holding girls hostage.
Yeah, dude, his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend. She was underage, and he kept her hostage. Yeah, this
asking you, did you see the interview where he broke down on national TV?
No. Why I got to see that? I don't care about that.
I don't know. Maybe because it's floating around on social media. And I know you thumb through a few miles of fucking social media every day, just like everybody else does.
Yeah. I really hadn't seen a whole lot about R. Kelly, to be honest with you.
Dude, this man broke down on national TV. Freaking out, causing a scene.
Yeah, talking about like, y'all know me, y'all know I wouldn't do anything like that. Listen.
You did see it. Why you want to lie?
Because that is the stereotypical, that's what people say when they lie. There's catchphrases. They're not catchphrases, but
that was my point. That's where I was going with that.
Oh yeah, there are lines that people say and words that people say that pretty much dictate that they're lying.
Yeah.
The whole, come on, man, y'all know me better than that. 90% of the time when somebody says that, they lying.
Yeah, that was my point. That's where I was going with that, but you interrupted me.
Listen, it's because I'm smart. Okay, I'm educated. Okay,
you're smart.
I have GED with some college. That's weird putting that on applications and shit. You know,
a GED with some college.
Yeah, I got a GED with some college. Like I'm just shy of an associate's degree, so I've been doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? But it's I'm just not at that moment where I can check off anything at the moment. It's some. I mean, I've done some of it.
My man say he's been doing the damn thing, but he ain't been in college in like 2 years. But he's been doing the damn thing, though. Been doing the damn thing.
Listen, college and information and knowledge is not based around college. It's based around research and doing your own shit, figuring your own shit out, finding your own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you were just sitting here gloating about I'm almost to an associate's degree. So evidently that college means something. That college knowledge means something to you.
Yeah, but
right?
That's just on paper. I've already got a master's degree in my mind.
Oh, me too. Hell, fuck yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
I got a doctorate. I'm a doctor.
You don't look like the stereotypical doctor.
I'm a doctor of love.
Yeah, let me think. Let me look at you. If you were a doctor,
I'd be a guy.
No, you'd probably be like some kind of
children's doctor.
Like no, that's creepy, dude. Don't ever say that again. Especially,
no, like I'm relatable. You know what I mean? Like I'm hip.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
I'm up on the top 40 in the slang and shit. I can get down with the kids, man.
Yeah.
But I probably would be a gynecologist though.
See, I see you more as like a skin doctor or something.
What?
Like a dermatologist.
No.
Yeah.
That's boring.
When you look the way you look, it's got to be some like off the wall shit. Like you're a fucking physicist or something like that. You look.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a skin doctor? No, that's unacceptable.
You do have this. You can pull that off. You can tell people that you're a physicist. So if you were to introduce somebody at a social gathering, how would you introduce yourself as a physicist?
I have no idea what's the end letters and shit. I don't know what that would be, so I couldn't tell you.
What?
Like PhD, MD, whatever. I don't know what
No. So you wouldn't just tell them that hi, I'm Red. I'm a physicist. Or NASA?
Yeah. I mean that I could do, but
Yeah.
you wanna kind of put some stank on it. You gotta break down what you are. You know what I mean? So it's more believable.
So do you think people who have PhDs and doctorates, and I know there's initials and all that shit, so every time they introduce themselves, they introduce themselves as
Red Minsky, PhD.
Did you say Minsky?
Yeah. Red Minsky, PhD.
Which stands for
I'm not real sure, actually. I've never really thought about it. That's a good damn question. I don't think I know.
What about Wayne Minsky, MD?
That's medical doctor, right?
Yeah.
PA is physician's assistant. RN is registered nurse. I'm not sure what's PhD stand for. Do you know?
No, I do not.
Yeah, me either. That's a good question. I have no fucking idea, dude.
I have always heard it. I've always heard that it was a player hater's degree. You know, somebody's hating on, you know, like look at that dude over there with his PhD over here hating on me, hating on my player skills, my player activities, over here hating. Brush them shoulders off. Brush them shoulders off.
That is, PhD is a doctor in philosophy, a doctor of philosophy.
So it's a philosophy doctor is what the PhD stands for.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they ain't shit.
Doctor of philosophy.
I mean,
I could stand that.
Yeah.
Red Minsky, PhD.
I'm pretty sure I already have a PhD. Without looking at it again, what's it stand for?
Doctor of philosophy, a philosophy doctor.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, that could be a philosophy doctor.
I'm pretty sure I already am.
Yeah.
I philosophize often.
Philosophize?
Yeah, I'm into philosophizing. It's one of my likes. It's one of my interests. It's what I'm into.
Yeah, I could philosophize a few things.
I mean that would be the verb, right? Philosophize.
I don't know what the verb for that would be.
Hello is
philosophy. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
My name is Dr. Paycheck, PhD, MD, DD, DD, because I'm the data driver also for tonight. So like, yes, I am Mr. Paycheck, MD, PhD, DD. I mean, do they introduce themselves like that every time?
I don't know. I don't know anybody like that. I mean, my wife doesn't put her name, or she doesn't say my name's, RN. I mean, when she signs her name to shit, she has to put RN behind it. Yeah, but when she tells people, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
No, which she's what they call a DOO now.
Which stands for
Director of Operations.
So I'd imagine in Red's world, instead of the Red Minsky PhD, it would be like, all right, now I'm Red and I'm a painter. The other dude be like, what's up, Red? I'm Tom. I'm an electrician. Or so instead of the PhD and the MD, like Red Minsky, painter.
Hey man, I mean it is what it is.
So when people ask you, hey, what do you do for a living? How do you describe it? I mean, do you just tell them I'm a painter?
Well, I mean, you have to say I'm a house painter. If I'm I'm a painter. Oh, can I see some of your work? you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see
I don't-
that building down there on the 3rd and 27th?
Yeah, I painted all those over there. I mean, they think I'm like a painter, like a picture painter or a landscape painter or something.
Yeah.
You know, like a Bob Ross kind of painter. I'm not. That's not the kind of painter I am. I'm a house painter. I paint houses.
So you're
Res-
not
or a residential painter. You probably call it.
so you're not necessarily an artiste.
Oh yeah, I consider myself an artist. I mean, I have painted before, like canvas painting, but I mean, when I tell people my profession, I'm a house painter.
So when do you go to social events with your wife, who is a DOO?
Yes.
So when you and your wife are making your rounds, talking to her colleagues, is that brought up like immediately? Like, hey, this is my husband, Red. He's a painter. You know.
No, most people know what I do, man. Most of her inner circle knows what I do. But
Why? Because you told.
whenever they introduce me, my line of work is irrelevant. This is Wayne. This is my husband. What's the point? I mean, what's the need to tell them? Oh, he's a painter. So what? That doesn't matter.
So your wife is not from South Carolina, right? She's from West Virginia.
Yes.
All right. So it would be safe to say that if it was in South Carolina, if she was from South Carolina, you could be introduced as her old man. This my old man, Red.
Yeah. I've been introduced as the old man before.
Yeah, I've often introduced whatever woman I'm with at the time as my old lady.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I'm Jay Paycheck, and that's my old lady.
Jay Paycheck.
Yeah, Mr. Jay Paycheck. Mr. JP.
JP.
So you know the nicknames that we've had throughout the years. I'm trying to figure out where what was it, Jables.
I think that was something Brad just shortened from JB, because I had called you John Boy, and then I started calling you JB, and then he just called you Jables.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, good weekend, but as always, they come to an end, and it's Monday morning again. We got to do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's weird how. So we've been told that our job is to go to work. So we work 40 hours a week. So let's say you work 8 hours. That doesn't include the commute back and forth to work. So let's say an hour there and an hour back, just to be on the safe side. So that's 8 hour day, 9, 10 hours. So that's 10 hours. So there's 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to sleep a good 8 of those. I mean, that's what people say. You get you a good 8 hours sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 24 hours minus 10 hours at work, 34 minus another 8. So you, out of all those hours in a day, you hardly get any free time. Work is where you spend a majority of your time at. That's crazy, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how life's supposed to be?
I don't think it's supposed to be like that, no. But society tells us that in order to have nice things, in order to do stuff, you have to work to make money to pay for that. So that's where working comes in. And I'm pretty sure you could emancipate yourself and live off the land and not work and not have to answer to anybody, but to enjoy your idea of the greater things in life, it wouldn't cost you anything. But in today's society, living the good life costs money, so you have to have a job in order to pay for that good life. So.
Yeah, but what if you could pack up? You can find the thickest brush of woods you can find. You carry all your family out there. You build you a little lean-to, to get you started. You find you some running water.
Mm-hmm.
You find you a little deer trail or a hog trail or something. So instead of going to work for 8 hours, You could go to work for like 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, come home with a hog, couple deer. You know what I'm saying? Took you 2 hours or 4 hours. You feeding your family. You know what I mean? You start building your little cabin out there. You got running water. I think that's how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, of course.
So take away all the everything that man did. So before all the buildings and the fucking skyscrapers and the cars and the trains and subways and all that shit, you know what I mean? If you wanted to get somewhere, you'd have to walk to that motherfucker. So imagine a little kid, right? So this couple have land, like let's say 40 acres of land, right? Which is I imagine would be common way back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that little kid grew up on 40 fucking acres. He probably never seen nobody. You know, he ain't never seen another person. 40 acres back in the day.
Yeah, that's a lot of land. I mean, that's a lot of land now.
Yeah. But I'd imagine that before.
But when your 40 acres is butted right up close to somebody else's 40 acres, chances are you're going to run into them motherfuckers.
Yeah, but back in the day, I'm sure they didn't have the equipment necessary to like clear some shit. I mean, I'm sure that they were clearing what they needed to be cleared.
Yeah, and they built their house out of what they cleared.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you wouldn't take it all the way to the back 40 where your neighbors are, you know what I mean? Clear all that shit out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But imagine, you know, living. Sometimes I think that I was born in the wrong era because that's my shit right there. I'm talking about it now because I don't have to do it now. I feel like I could do some shit. You know what I mean? I feel like I could build me a little lean-to. I can catch me some, you know, some food, find me some damn fish and some water and shit. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
did you grow up fishing with your dad?
Oh yeah.
What kind of fishing? Like saltwater, freshwater?
No, I've done the saltwater fishing as I grew older when I got it with friends that done it, but I mostly pond fish, river fish for largemouth bass, brim, crappie, catfish, that kind of shit.
My favorite was catfish.
Yeah.
But there ain't nothing like I live really close to Georgia, and there's this place, it's Folkestone, Georgia, and the story is that this probably been about 30 years now, but a doctor owned that land and he dug like 15 man-made ponds and stocked everyone.
Yep.
And didn't let anybody fish out of them. So eventually he passed away and he left it to his son, and his son saw it as an investment opportunity. So he would open it up to people and they would pay to come in and they pay him, he'll fillet them up and all that good shit.
Right.
But the thing was, it was like a good distance off main road, so like you had to know about this. It wasn't advertised, there weren't signs out there, you just had to know about this spot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there were like fucking 36-pound catfish in this motherfucker, head on them, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the good thing about teaching a kid how to fish like that, my oldest was fishing at the time. So you throw in in a sense, it was a catfish farm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You dug the pond, you threw them all in there. They fucking grew. You know what I mean? And all that shit.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much guaranteed to catch something. But it was weird because on one side, you stick a brim buster in there and yank out a brim. I mean, instantaneously, immediately. As soon as I had this yellow Sally I used to work with. But she was good to me. Well, I just throw that little brim buster in there, son. It'll just tap the top of that fucking water, and I'll have one on there. So cut the head off, put it on I had an 808 Zebco, so them bad boys, one of them big boys. And this is the first time ever fishing for big catfish. Like I've been fishing on the river and shit, you know what I mean? But I knew that I was fixing to get a hold of a big old catfish. Now here's the thing about fishing for catfish is that most people, they're raised to snatch that fucking pole up as soon as they feel that bite to set the hook while that fish is chewing or you know, eating it.
Mm-hmm.
But a catfish don't eat like that. They suck on their food. So he'll have that food, that brim head in his mouth, but it ain't set. So if you yank on it, you're going to just pull it out of his mouth. Look, I didn't know all this shit. All this shit was taught to me, but it's like Jaws. Remember in Jaws where you hear that click, 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 and then it'll stop? Like it's that creepy shit. So So I had this big old fat 808 Zebco, man, and like I said, there's monsters in this fucking pond. 36 pound. I mean, it's ridiculous. So all of a sudden, my fucking my rod and reel started click, 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 and I ran over there. My dad was like, "No, not yet, not yet." As soon as I got over there, it stopped. We waited for a minute, and it click, 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 and it stops. And I'm chomping at the bit. I'm excited. I'm ready to snatch that motherfucker up. So my dad was like, no, not yet, not yet. So I heard it again. It was like click, click, but it was like you could tell he had got it and he was gone, son, because he swallowed it, I guess, and it frightened him a little bit. So he was gone. So that motherfucker was like click, 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 click. I snatched this fucking thing up, and that big old boy walked me up and down that damn riverbank for a good 15 minutes till somebody could finally get down the net under.
Mm-hmm. That's good fishing,
man. And that's how I got my kids hooked on it, because I was able to take them to a place that I knew they were going to catch. And if you take a youngin to a damn fishing hole and they catch a fish, they fishing.
Yeah.
You just created a fisherman. What is it? Give them a fish, they eat for a day. Teach them how to fish, they eat forever.
Yep. Eat for a lifetime.
Yeah.
See, I was more. I mean, I love catfishing. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I like largemouth bass fishing too. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my likes. That's what I'm into. That's my interests.
Did you do the? Damn, I got a brain fart here. Did you use the? Well, I know I turned the fan off.
The fucking no, the moving around on the table. That shit's loud, man.
Oh, this is my studio, motherfucker. I'll do whatever the.
Well, I gotta hear that shit. Okay.
You damn right you do. You damn right. You use live bait? You don't
I have, yeah. But I was a rubber worm, pumpkin seed rubber worm kind of guy, fishing on the bottom.
Okay, so you didn't do the whole reel it in and jerk a little bit, reel it in a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I've caught bass on top water, but my favorite was down on the bottom, down there on the ponds.
Yeah, I didn't think bass were bottom feeders.
They bed on the bottom of the rivers and the ponds, dude, in the grass. Yeah. That's where you throw that worm right through them bass beds.
Yeah. Let me tell you,
I got this over here, Ken. I've caught my share. I've caught my share.
Hey, I cannot tell you how much of my dad's tackle I have thrown out in the damn river because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Dude, I let a top water spinner go in a fucking tree that my dad paid like $20-some for. You guaranteed to catch a fish with this one. Here, take this one. I went, all right, cool, hell yeah. Be careful with it now. I paid like $20 with that motherfucker. Whew. All the way across the river, get it hung on a tree on the other fucking side.
Yeah.
But you might as well go over to the roughneckbeardcompany.com and get you some beard products. Take care of that best friend on your face. They'll thank you for it later. Make sure you use promo code Paycheck15 to save 15% off your next order.
And then you might be able to put in, if they allow you to put multiple codes in there, put Wayne sent me for an additional 10%.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, you put some stank on that cast,
well,
didn't you?
The part of the river that we were on wasn't a narrow part, or it wasn't a wide part. It was a narrower spot. So yeah, that fucker, but that spinnerbait was heavy. Boy, it was like casting saltwater fish line. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
And it went all the way across the river and got hung up in a low-lying tree over the water. And
did he say anything?
Had to cut the old line. Yeah, we were done that day. He was pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said we were done.
Yeah, we were done. No more fishing. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Pack it up.
Yeah, something similar happened, but like my dad was super patient. Like he was trying to teach me how to rig a line.
Dude, I'd been taught all that by now.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? I was a responsible fisherman by then. You know what I mean? He was like, "Here, check out this. Check that out. I'm catching fish like crazy with that thing. I paid like 20. He was bragging about it. Wanting me to use it.
Yeah.
I'm a grown motherfucking man.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah,
was this your first cast?
Yeah, first cast. Oh yeah. First cast.
And you know what? You can't help but as a grown man, that's a little embarrassing in front of your dad.
Dude, as soon as I let go of the damn shit and it went flying across, I knew it was done. I was like, "Yep, that's it."
Why
I just had to watch it. Just
why you keep throwing it out with two hands?
because it was a big fucking spinner lure and it was a big ass fucking open face rod and reel. I'm talking about a big one. We were fucking yeah, two-handed motherfucker, big old fucking fishing pole.
That
I'm catching big fish, dude. Golf course pond bass.
He said golf course.
Yeah, dude. That's where we used to fucking bass fish was golf course ponds. That's where the fucking big ones are at because you can't fish in there.
Yeah. Where'd y'all go at night?
We have, but my dad painted a clubhouse at one of these golf courses, and they give him access to.
You forgot the word golf courses.
I forgot we were talking about. I'm high, dude. Okay. Yeah.
But your recovery time is impeccable.
Thank you.
So my dad was understanding for a while, you know what I mean? But
well, so was mine when he was teaching me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Uncle Paycheck story time.
Well, you paused, so I
For dramatic effect.
interjected. Yeah.
Well, don't be ruining my dramatic effects, okay?
Sorry.
Those are placed strategically.
You paused too long, man.
Yeah, for dramatic effect. I strategically did that.
Yeah, but dead air is not a good thing when you have to edit all this shit, okay?
Anywho, my dad was he was cool about it for a few of them. It was at that point where he was teaching me how to rig a line, and I'd rig it and I'd throw it out there and I'd fish on it, a few casts, and if I got a hold of something, he'd pull my damn hook and fucking everything off.
Yeah,
So,
dude, I wasted a lot of hooks and weights and all that kind of shit growing up. The first time I ever spun my old Zebco 33 out, and it was just a nest of shit coming out of the sides of it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I have a 33.
Yeah, my dad said, "Yep, here's your first line tangle. Take care of that."
Yeah. Yo, my oldest daughter, it was just her and I, and I had this little fishing spot. It was in front of a subdivision. It was like a retention pond, but there was like several of them right in a row, right by her Nana's house. So, dude, she had a fucking Dora fishing pole, and this youngin', she picked shit up quick. I mean, what happened was, so she ended up catching a 9-pound catfish on a Dora fishing pole.
Oh yeah.
So it was funny to see the progression because you teach them how it works, when to let go of the. So all of a sudden I seen her out there. She threw that some bitch sidearm out there. I was like, "Yep, we got to go to Walmart." And I got her a 33.
I went after my kids went through the whole Barbie fishing pole and Mickey Mouse fishing poles and all that shit. Zebco came out with a fucking 3 foot 30, like a closed face.
Yeah.
I went and bought one. I own 3 of them right now.
Yeah.
Those are good for the low line branches under the water or whatever on the banks.
But look, this is how crazy society has gotten with the whole everybody gets a trophy thing. So now I have 3 kids and they range. My oldest is 17 and my youngest is 9. So it had never happened with the older 2, but when I bought my youngest a fishing pole, it already had a fish on that motherfucker.
Yeah, well, plastic one.
Yeah. So every time she threw out, she caught a fish. How crazy is that? Yeah, but how crazy is that? That's like, everybody gets a trophy. See, fishing.
It's trying to interest a kid in fishing, man. It's trying to get him to do outdoor activity.
No, but it's a misrepresentation of fishing. You are fishing. You're not catching. You're fishing. Dude, have you ever been out to and thrown a line in the water?
It's to help get a kid used to throwing shit.
Excuse me.
I mean, you don't understand, man.
Have you ever thrown a damn line out in the water? Didn't catch nothing, but had you a good old time out there? A little peaceful,
As I got older, when I'm 5, I want to catch a fucking fish or I want to throw something in the water. That's just teaching them to throw it in the water and reel it back in, man.
Yeah, not with that. I'm against it, actually.
You're one of them John Wayne throw the kid in the fucking river and watch him swim, right?
No, of course not. I'm into teaching them how to fish and let them know that Sometimes you ain't
Well,
gonna catch.
that's just the fishing poles company way of saying, hey, we're gonna help your kid learn how to throw a fishing pole and put a little weighted fish on the end of it.
Yeah, well, I tell
I
them.
mean, what?
I'm the one teaching my kid how to fish, not you. Okay, don't be all up in my fishing business like that. What I do with my daughter is my fucking
My
business.
fishing business.
Yeah, here you are teaching my kid that every time she throws a daggone line in the water, that she's gonna catch something, and you are not teach a child because that's not true.
Well,
I
I mean,
rest
it
my
depends
case.
on where you're fishing at now.
I rest my case. Case rested.
I think I've been to spots where I catch fish every time my pole goes in the water. I've fished like that before.
Where? Where is this?
I can't tell you that. You don't ever ask a man where his fishing spot's at. What the hell's wrong with you?
No, I mean, like, is it in West Virginia or is it in South?
No, it's in South Carolina.
Well, I know where that's at, yeah. I know all
Yeah.
about in Carolinas.
You don't know where this one's at.
I bet I do.
Bet you
I
don't.
bet one of them fish you caught done been caught by Uncle Paycheck.
Yeah, I bet. Not in this pond, it ain't.
But was it on a dirt road about 5 or 6 miles off the paved road? Oh, you must not know about that one.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But see, here's the thing about being Southern. So I was fortunate enough that I grew up on the East Coast from North Carolina down to Florida. Okay, so when you talk about Southeast and what is Southeast, I can let you know.
You've been there and done that, ain't you?
I've been all up and down all of them. North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, South Carolina, and it's funny because I live in Jacksonville, but when I tell people what I did when I was a teenager, my thing when I was a teenager is we went to Myrtle Beach on spring break and during the summer. So it's funny that you're from Myrtle Beach. I know you're not from Myrtle Beach, but
Yeah.
but yeah, them is my old stomping grounds.
At some point in time, we should have crossed paths, is what you're saying.
I've slept in one of those hotels right there on the water in Myrtle Beach. But it's separated. They separate it north and south, don't they? Don't they call it like North Myrtle Beach, South Myrtle Beach, or something like that?
It's just North Myrtle Beach and Myrtle Beach, not South Myrtle Beach.
Oh, well, excuse me.
You got the north end and the south end of.
Right. So they just. Okay, I get it. But I slept in a linen closet, and dude, I was drunk as shit, trying to find somewhere to sleep. Was opening up doors that of course they're not rooms. The rooms look, you know what a room is.
Right.
So dude, I found this closet and it was like pillows and blankets and it was like, oh, I was like, holy shit, it's like a fucking a suite. It was little, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't stretch out in that motherfucker or nothing.
It was cute. It wasn't sweet. It was cute.
Yeah. I think we ended up getting run off at about 4 o'clock in the morning. I went with 3 dudes in a single cab S10.
That was cute.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, I lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. What up, Vietnam? 26. Do we have any listeners from North Carolina?
There's a few, I think.
Yeah. So I think it was about an hour and a half, maybe. An hour, maybe. I'm thinking 2 hours for some reason.
Yeah.
I think about 2 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, to Myrtle Beach.
Yep.
I've been down there a whim for spring break. I only rode up and down the strip for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then drove back to Fayetteville. What you doing today? Nothing. You trying to go to Myrtle Beach real quick? I was like, yo. I go in there and be like, Mom, can I borrow $10? So, dude, listen, I have been all the way to Myrtle Beach and back on $10. I bought a dime bag. Listen, I bought a dime bag because I was hungry and thirsty when I got it. But we was smoking all the way to Myrtle Beach.
Whenever we used to go off there, I spent a lot of weekends in Myrtle Beach, but we were going to like Wilmington to the port city down there and hanging out at the tattoo shops and the fucking the bars and shit on the port down there, and Charleston, hanging out down there on was it Rainbow Road or Rainbow Avenue, wherever the fuck it was, at some of those places. I done my hanging out in Myrtle Beach in high school, and by the time I graduated and was actually hanging out and like partying on the weekends, I was already over Myrtle Beach. We went the other way.
Nobody wants to hang out with a bunch of tourists.
Right. Yeah,
See,
that's what it became after, high school. Is just you go down there and it's just tourists cruising the fucking strip instead of people you know.
Well, see, and that's the funny thing about traveling. When you travel, you have to pretend like you have to pretend you're not a tourist. You don't want to stick out like a sore thumb, like you don't know what's going on, you don't know where you're at. So when people pull over at, imagine some landmark in your small podunk town, and somewhere just outside the holler. Imagine you're going into town in some landmark, probably the damn courthouse or the jailhouse, that's never been remodeled or whatever, and there's people standing out in front of it taking photos in front of it and shit. You know what I mean? You would think that those are tourists, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It would seem weird to you, somebody taking photos out there like that.
No, after a while, it was just normal.
You've been listening to the Conversations with Paycheck and Red podcast. Check out Paycheck and Red on Facebook at Paycheck and Red, Instagram at Paycheck and Red podcast, and Twitter at Paycheck and Red. And don't forget, paycheckandred.com, where you can buy merch, you can subscribe to the podcast, and you can listen to the podcast.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Drama City Productions.
It's a podcast network that brings you several genres of podcasts: movie reviews, true crime, comedy, interviews, and much more. Visit DramaCityProductions.com to find all the amazing shows today. Find Drama City Productions on Twitter and Instagram at DCP Network. And stay in touch with the network and all the podcasts available. DramaCityProductions.com, where podcasting lives.